Hey guys, welcome back to Bella's Film, and this is a quick spoiler review for the Netflix film Cargo. Now, Cargo stars Morgan Freeman. That doesn't. Cargo is a zombie apocalypse survival horror type film which features Martin Freeman. This is quite an unusual film for Martin Freeman to be in. We're used to him in the Avengers films, and we're used to him in the Lord of the Rings, etc. But this has him basically as a struggling dad to a fairly young daughter who finds himself in a post-apocalyptic world. You never see what happens, you're never given an explanation of why it's happened, because this is very much a character-based film. It's not based upon hordes of zombies. This isn't Dawn of the Dead, it isn't World War Z. This is very much the humanity side of films. This is showing a man with his wife and daughter who are desperately trying to escape from a world which has been ravaged by some form of plague, where when you get bitten you have a certain amount of time, I think it's 48 hours, before you turn. So this isn't like World War Z, for instance, where there was like, I can't remember if it was 10, 12 seconds, whatever it was, when somebody got bit and then they turned. Here you have 48 hours. And basically they're on a houseboat, and we see them at the start on a houseboat. They're trying to get to an army base further upriver, and unfortunately, due to the fact they're having to scavenge back and forwards and go into abandoned because they have to go into abandoned boats, etc., to get more supplies and more food as they go, they expose them to the risk of coming across someone who's already been zombified. And this happens. Morgan Freeman's wife is bitten, and then they have to leave her behind. And we also, unfortunately, have a situation where, a little way into the film, we have a situation in the film where Morgan gets actually bitten. And we now have this harrowing idea of a guy that's basically got this little toddler in a rucksack on his back. He's bitten, he's only got 48 hours before he turns, and will literally just turn around and eat his own child, and he's desperate to get his child to safety. He knows there's no solution for him, he knows there's no redemption, he knows there's no cure, but what he can do is use his last dying breath to get his child to safety. So it's a very novel idea. I love the idea in principle. It's based on a very short film which apparently was worked very well. There are some interesting concepts in here. I particularly thought it was clever that they got airdropped survival kits, if you like. Well, actually not survival kits, end-of-life kits, more like it, where supplied by the government, where there are polythene bags that are dropped from passing planes, and you open them up and they've got instructions in there to how to recognise the symptoms, and it also gives you some form of a little sort of timing device, like a watch, that goes around your wrist. You press it as soon as you've been bitten. It gives you the countdown, so you at least know how long you've got before you're likely to turn, give or take a few hours. It also includes a device that allows you to terminate yourself. It's basically almost like a giant diabetic type pen, but you put it on the side of your head, press the button, and it pops a stake through your brain and kills you. So it has some quite clever ideas. The idea of trying to get his daughter to safety through the outback, avoiding other zombies and everything else, and also of course avoiding what we've found in a lot of films, and particularly things like Walking Dead has shown it very much, is that when you have the breakdown in society, you have almost certain people who survive who become predatory. They have to survive however they can think of it best. If that means preying on the weak, that's what they do. And he comes across a particularly nasty guy in a mining colony who is basically using people as bait for the zombies, and for various different reasons. I won't go into the ins and outs of it, but basically Freeman has this journey that he's got to try and get his daughter to safety. Now, I have a great deal of respect for this actor. I enjoy him in everything he does. I think he's a great guy, but I think he was completely miscast in this role. He doesn't, to me, have the range. He doesn't sell me the fact that he is so desperate, and part of that might be because this isn't suited to him, but the biggest problem I had with this film is it had no sense of urgency. We're told that you have 48 hours and this guy's going to turn, and by turning he's going to turn around, he's going to kill his own child, and everybody else he comes across. So there should be this urgency that should be literally boom, 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 we've got to go, got to go, got to go, forcing his way through different situations, working across different challenges, finding different solutions and different ways around to get to the army base, to get some resolution and get his daughter safe before he goes. Now, as it is, he never actually reaches the army base. Instead, he comes across indigenous population who are the Aborigine. He comes across the Aborigines within the bush who actually managed to help him or take on his daughter. So the premise is there, but the film had no urgency. It was literally boring. This film could have been an hour TV show, or it could have even been, better still, an episode of The Walking Dead. We could have had a guy at the beginning of one episode who was bitten, who only got a small bite perhaps, so he is going to turn, but he's got a while before he does it, who's desperately trying to save his daughter, and some resolution at the end where he dies but his daughter lives and joins the group with Rick, etc. in The Walking Dead. That would have worked, but this film for me really didn't work. Now it's really interesting because obviously I watch other review channels, and I've seen this reviewed, Cargo, twice in two other reviewers. Both of them said it was brilliant. Both of them said how good it was and that Martin Freeman was brilliant in the role. So what do you guys think? Have a watch. It's on Netflix. Have a watch. See what you think. I just don't think it worked. And for me, it definitely only got a C. And that's being generous. I was considering giving it an F. Let me know what you think. But for me, no, it wasn't for me. It's included in Netflix. It's not like you're going to pay to go and see it. If you like different takes on the zombies, then give this one a go and see what you think. But me personally, wasn't for me. Wouldn't recommend it. So for me, gets a C. Until next time, I'll see you next time.